Hey, it's Growing Up Garden Mama. I'm just not having any time to type, so I'm gonna see if video blogging would be any better. Just gonna kind of show you around before I'm about ready to change a bunch of things. This is my garden by the house. We've got kind of like a little courtyard area here. I'm in the process, we're gonna put in brick there eventually. The process of kind of revamping this. There was nothing here when we moved in. Got lots of hostas over here. Here's some new plants I just got. Some ferns. Over here's my herb garden right there. Wood pile, rubbish pile. All out here is my garden. Tell you more about that in a minute. Then we got the chicken coop. And the chickens are back there. I've got a little fenced in area. But I've really done a lot of research the last few months, and I stumbled upon a gardening method called Back to Eden. It's basically, you look in the woods and you look down and you see the ground's all covered with sticks and leaves, and there's just no bare ground. And that's not how we usually garden. We usually garden with bare earth. I've been having a lot of trouble with weeds, so you want to try the garden Back to Eden method. I'll put a link. There's a video of this guy. Paul is just amazing. So here's my garden. Got compost over there. These are my blueberries. They're starting to turn red. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in here. They're not doing the best. I don't think they get enough sun, so I'm going to be moving them. I tried to plant grass in between my raised beds. I do have raised beds. And this has been my struggle. I've got all of this bindweed here. It's gotten into my garden. I've been pulling it all summer, so it's not the healthiest, but it's still here. But this is my Brachysa bed. And right now I have my winter broccoli growing in here. And cabbages. These were planted in the spring. I planted these 1st of February maybe. But I got some really huge ones. See, that one's pretty big, and this one. What I'm going to do is the 3 biggest ones, I'm going to attempt to save them over winter by pulling them out, roots and all, and covering them with leaves, and then replanting them in the spring, and then hopefully they'll bloom and give me some good seeds because I'm getting low on seeds. This is a broccoli plant. There's actually more coming on. This was planted in the spring the same time as the cabbages. Some more broccoli coming. And I let this one go to seed. So you can see all these lovely seed heads in here. They bloomed, and I let it go to seed. And now there'll be all these little wonderful seeds in here that I can plant and save next year. See the little seed? They're not quite ready yet. They'll be black when they're ready. But this is my other scourge of the garden. All of these wild strawberries. So I'm hoping that the Back to Eden method, I'll explain more in a minute, will help that a lot. So I've got tomatoes in this bed. Got my cherry tomatoes. What I did is I just took some rewire, I think it's called, and put it in a V shape. And then my cherry tomatoes are all sprawling up that. Let's see, here's more bindweed coming up here. Ugh. For my other tomatoes, I took the rewire and made like a cage, a round metal cage. These all have cages. Let me check out that spider. Lovely. Eating lots of bugs. I have all of my lovely Roma tomatoes. They're just doing really well this year. And what I've been trying to do, now that it's late September, anytime I see some of these flowers, I just pull them off. Because I want all of the plant's nourishment go down into redding up the last of these Roma tomatoes, these green tomatoes. This is my strawberry bed here. And I had a couple volunteers. I had a volunteer pepper, bell pepper, which I have never gotten before, but it seemed to do really, really well. I'm really surprised. Had a little bit of drought, so it kind of got kicked back. And if you see this on your tomato plants, see how there aren't any leaves on there? That's the first sign that you have some hornworms. I've already picked the two that were off this plant, where I picked them off. But yeah, it's the first. And luckily it has only been this one. Oh, but here I see one right here. See, look at that hornworm. So what I will probably be doing is really soon spraying my tomatoes with BT. It's an organic spray. Hi Beanie. It's my cat Beans. He likes to help. It's an organic spray that just targets worms, caterpillars. It kind of messes with their digestive system, so when they ingest the leaf and they have to ingest the leaf, they'll die. So got carrots in here, just thin them out. They're doing really well. That one's huge. Got some radishes. I already harvested some of these. These are just planted maybe 3 weeks ago. Got my winter carrots here. These will stay in as long as possible. Got some little cute baby bok choy here. These leeks, getting pretty big. They were planted from seed back in January. This carrot was planted in the spring and it's starting to flower. So I'm going to let that one go to seed. It's probably not best practice to take the carrot that sprouted and went to seed this early, because carrots are biennials. So what I should have done is left one in the ground last year and then that one goes to seed. But oh well, you know, carrots. I'll save some better stock next time. Here's another bed. I have some cherry tomatoes that came up on their own. Down here I have a few peas coming up. Those were planted the 1st of September, I think. 1st of August maybe. This one I had corn in. Yeah, see all the weeds. This has been my big problem. So my bell peppers, they're coming along really nicely. Look at how blocky those are. Really nice. All my peppers, eggplants. If you look at these leaves, these are flea beetle bites. Flea beetles absolutely love. Let's see, there's one right here. Those are flea beetles. I don't know how well you can see them, how well it's in focus. They're little black bugs. They love eggplant. They're just covering my eggplant. You can see the leaves that aren't. And you can spray them, you can knock them off, you can do like a herbicide, but they really don't harm too much late in this year. Like this one I don't think even has any eggplants left. This one has one more on it. It just got all cracked probably because of the watering. And this one, they're just gorgeous. I love the color. So since it's so late in the season, I'm probably just going to let them go and not worry about spraying. So, this used to be where my beans is, but this is where I am starting the practice of the Back to Eden garden method. So what I did is I took cardboard and I laid it over top. And then this is ground up wood chips. This is the basis of the Back to Eden garden method. In this method, you are trying to mimic what God has created in nature. And if you go out to any forest, I mean, you could just look down, stick your hands in, and the soil is so moist and dark and rich. So that's what we're trying to do here too. These are ground up trees. You can see there's a lot of green leaves in here. That's key because that adds nitrogen and helps break down all of these big wood chips. But what this is going to do is this is going to sit all winter, and it is going to decompose, and then come spring when I start planting, it's going to be nice rich soil. And then because there's such mulch up on top, all of the weed seeds that blow in aren't going to germinate quite as much, and it'll be a lot easier to weed. So that's what I'm doing. Got a lot of work ahead of me. I plan to put in maybe about 6 to 10 inches of wood chips. This is my flower bed over here. I'm extending it quite a bit. It did go to about here maybe. I got some plants I got on sale. So some grasses to kind of soften that pie weed. My favorite Baptisia, I love Baptisia. And of course my rhubarb is over here. I'm going to extend the rhubarb. I don't know if I'm going to send it this way or, you know, back behind like this area, or if I'm going to do it here yet. I haven't decided yet, but it's got to get big. A lot bigger at the bed. Because these were maybe like 5 plants. They used to be like right here, and they just weren't getting hardly any sun. So I moved them out here where they get full sun, and it just kind of erupted, got huge. Over here, this used to be just one raspberry line of raspberries, but I am extending this. I've got 2 ever-bearing. They don't look so hot right now because I just replanted them, but if you can see, they're coming back. There's new growth on them. So I've got 2 ever-bearing raspberries, and down here I've got 2 thornless blackberries, and one of these over here is golden raspberry. It's a raspberry patch, and I'm extending it probably all the way out to here. And in this row right here, I'm going to plant goji berries, which I have grown from seed. They're over a year old now. And some gooseberries that I have. And then on this side, see, I'm starting to put down some mulch here, wood chips. I'm going to put in my blueberries here because I think they'll do a lot better here. They'll get a lot more sun. And this is what's going to make my whole garden. This is 2 loads of chipped up trees that I got free, yes free, from local wood trimming service. It's quite a lot, but you know, I had that whole big area back there. Plan on putting in a couple inches, so that's gonna be plenty. I'm probably gonna get at least 2 more loads, but this stuff is the gold. So I mean, I've had this out here since Friday, so it's been not even, well, probably about 30 hours it's been sitting out here. And this is the part that was delivered yesterday. I don't know. But I don't know if you could see, it's just steaming. Probably hard to see from the camera. But if I hold this in my hand, it's almost too hot to hold. I mean, it's just, I can't believe how much it's breaking down. And it's only been, 24 hours or so. See, the green's all gone in this stuff. Ooh, that's hot. So yeah, it's gonna just be nice material to plant in. So hopefully I'll get all of this kind of put out in the garden. And I like to put a lot more flower beds in here, so took down a few trees up front that were too close to the house. I like to kind of extend the flower beds. So, yep. This is Growing Up Garden Mama.